Welcome to Build It with Chris. So this call is a very informal call, and it is designed so that we can have fun, and you get to watch along as I build things. And the whole idea behind this call is so often you'll see a presentation and they'll show you a couple slides and it's like, oh, it just magically works, or you just click this button and all this magic happens. And this call is so that you can actually see the real work that goes in behind the scenes to build the technology to make it work. And so we like to showcase members that are looking to have things done, and actually build it with them. And so today we're going to be going through a power dialer, and I'm going to show you a couple of campaigns that show you how to leverage the power dialer and how to make calls with your power dialer. So with this being a very off of the cuff conversation, unmute your microphone at any time, ask any questions that you have. You can ask any questions in the chat, and we are blessed with a phenomenal team here today. So Sean is our lead in charge here, making sure that everything runs smoothly. So Sean, it's always awesome to have you on the call. Thank you for all your help. And then we also have Ben and Justin here, and we also have Sachin in the background as well. And so if we come across things, we have a hybrid on this call. So this was originally only for members, where it was just people that were on the loan officer CRM when we were just building campaigns for clients. And then we had a lot of people that were asking questions. So we've opened it up to everybody, because a lot of what we talk about can be applied to all different CRMs or different technologies and stuff like that. So we've opened it up to everybody. So if you are a loan officer AI CRM member, we have our team here in the chat. So if you need specific help with your account, or things added in the background, or little tweaks that you need made to your campaign, we've brought our team here so you get that real-time support. And with whatever you learn on Build It with Chris, you can actually have it implemented in your account in the background while we're working on the call. So that's in addition to 3 hours of customer support calls that we have in your account managers and all that good stuff. So very informal. Ask any questions that you have, and away we go.
Oh, Chris, this is Brad.
Hey, brother.
Needless to say, I've got another question.
Good, bro. Come on, that's why we're here.
From this morning, I can't remember who mentioned it, but they were talking about the voicemail.
Yes.
Okay, and someone was talking about a live voicemail and whatever. So I'm not really sure what that all means, but here's what I normally do when I'm making my calls, whether it's to an agent or to a past client or whatever, and I get their voicemail. So, hi, this is Brad. Please leave a message, blah, blah, blah. I don't wait for the end of their message. I hit the red phone, so I end the call, and then the little dialogue box comes up and I hit voicemail. Does that mean that my voicemail is being cut off to them, or does it mean that I'm getting it right into them?
No. So what will happen is when you say, hey, look, I didn't connect with the person, we have your account set up that it goes in and then drops the voicemail after.
I don't have to do anything?
No, that's because we've already built this for you previously. Right. So we've got the automation set up inside your account.
Okay.
So if you're making your calls to somebody, you end the call because you didn't get a hold of them and you say, didn't reach this person. Yes. It will automatically then insert the ringless voicemail.
So I don't have to hit the voicemail icon in the little square box.
So we've got it set up for you specifically that if you click any button other than like connected on the call, it'll drop that ringless voicemail for you.
Okay. Now, someone also mentioned that it will automatically send a text.
So you have to set it up that way, and that's what we're going to build. And I'll show you how to build the
Okay,
whole
because
thing
I
and
know
show
that
you how to.
I don't believe I've got that part. I know that Justin was great with helping me get all that rolling, but I don't think we did the text.
Yeah, and we can do that, but I mean, you want to be careful with texting. You do not want to text real estate agents. The
Okay,
only people that I would do a text automation to is your past clients and your past customers.
okay,
And yeah, it would just be use it sparingly.
okay. So not to the realtors, but so I have three categories. I've got realtors. Actually, I've got four categories. I've got realtors, Thor's Hammer realtors, um, past clients, and then prospects. So anyone who I've ever done, taken an application or whatever, who's still sitting in my computer as a prospect, they get, they get contacted. The
And if you,
ones that I call are my past clients and my realtors, Thor's realtors.
Yes,
The other one, like the prospects, I'm only sending them an email campaign, which is working great. I've got no problem with that.
you
perfect.
could,
But
it'd be great to add in those voicemails to that campaign as well. Again, you
Uh,
can leave those without the phone calls and just drop those into on top of the emails to make sure that if they're not checking their email or actively getting it, you can at least have that outreach to them.
okay, so again, that part I don't know how to do. And Justin, if you can help me, I tried to schedule a call with you, but I was getting your
I
link
was
was
uh I
saying
was
dead.
I was out of office that this past week. So that was probably the issue we're
Okay,
having. I'm sending you a DM about that now and we can book a good time.
thanks much. Okay,
No
thank
problem.
you. Great.
Chris, can I have one follow-up on that? I'm kind of doing the same thing Brad's doing. You know, when I connect with the realtor, I'll just hit connect because I don't want nothing going out after the connection. I spoke to them. Um, the one thing I had a realtor tell me, you know, they were hesitant to pick up the call. It came up, this is on a recorded line. And I just said, you know what? I'm calling through my CRM. So maybe that's what this is about. So that's how I explain that. This is on a recorded line. They were kind of hesitant, you know, to answer the call or but that's kind of what
Do
I,
they all say that?
It
Do,
more than likely it will have that, and it'll be if you check your phone services tab in the settings, and the phone number that you actively dial out from, under call recording is probably checked. You want to
yeah.
turn that off. You can have that turned on in certain situations. Like if you set the appointment, you want to call, you know, you have a phone call and it's an actual appointment, you can record that, and that could be something they'd be expecting to hear. But active sales leads, you would definitely not want to have call recording be on for
I
that.
think, Justin, I think we turned that off, but I'm not sure.
And in
yeah,
most cases, it's automatic. It's not on by default.
yeah,
Oh,
you
it
have to
isn't?
turn
Okay.
that on in the settings to record the calls. But if you set your CRM to record the calls, then it automatically sets it so that it notifies people that you're recording the call as the call starts to connect. So you can.
When I was previously with Phone Burner, do you know if, I mean, all of those calls were recorded. Do you believe that it was notifying them beforehand that they were recorded?
I don't know about other systems, and
Okay, all
I
right,
don't
okay.
speak on other
Yeah,
systems.
okay,
So when you go on to settings
Uh-huh.
inside your system,
yeah,
so you'll on the left hand side go to settings at the very bottom, and it'll open up the settings menu.
yeah.
And then Robert, you're going to head up to phone numbers.
Mhm.
And then this gives you all your phone numbers. When you hover over one of these phone numbers, and you can have as many phone numbers inside your system as you want, and you can have toll-free numbers as well as local numbers.
Yeah,
So
I have one of each, toll free and a local.
perfect. So you can click these three buttons
Mhm.
and it'll say edit configuration. So these are all of the settings on each particular phone number that you have. And then this is where you can forward your calls. So if somebody calls that phone number back,
Yep.
you can then put either your call answer service or your cell phone in here so that when you're making your outbound calls, if somebody calls back that number, it forwards to your cell phone. So you get that call on your cell phone.
Yeah, that's set up. That's going straight to my cell phone, the
Yeah,
way I
me
want it.
too, me
Awesome.
too,
Oh,
yep.
okay, great. And
Okay,
then this call recording button right here. So if you select that, it's going to record every call on the system. And then it's also going to say this call will be recorded for quality. Now, you can obviously change this, and but whatever you put in here, it's automatically going to say that message to the person that's on the other end of the phone. But
Dale made a great point about that as well. So he's Dale in the chat here says that he's edited that to something along the lines of you are being transferred to Dale, or along those lines. I think that's something I'd never considered before myself. But Dale, thank you for the feedback on that. That's incredible idea.
Now, everybody on the call, it is super important to understand that compliance of using this system is your responsibility, right? We give you all these tools, we give you all these features, but everybody can use it completely different. So we can't keep on top of everything for everybody. Run all of this stuff through your compliance department. I would believe that, and again, this is not a recommendation or advice from me on my side at all, go through your compliance department. But if you are recording phone calls of people, you should let them know, like, be cool. Like, rule number one is be cool. If you're going to record a phone call with somebody, you should let them know that it's being recorded. That's why on Zoom, when you log into Zoom and we're recording the call, it gives you that big thing up at the top, like, hey, this meeting is being recorded. It's because it's a polite thing to do, right? So if you are recording calls, don't go in and change that message to make it say something else to not do it, because that's uncool, right? You want to be cool.
Why would we record the call?
That is a phenomenal question, and I did not see who that was, so I apologize. But Amy, sweet. Sorry, because I've got my screen showing.
Okay.
But Amy, it's great to have you on the call.
Hi.
And so a lot of what we use this for is we have this thing called the concierge, which is basically a professional appointment setter, a caller or a dialer that makes calls on behalf of the loan officer. So we're calling the qualified agents, we're calling the past customers, and using the mortgage marketing animal scripts. And when we book an appointment for one of our clients, oftentimes they'll want to go into the system and listen to the recording of how the appointment was booked so that they're prepared for the next conversation of what's going to happen. So that's a main reason that we use the feature.
Okay. When I had Phone Burner, I had a VA from the Philippines, and I was able to go in to listen to what her call was, so that I could either tell her to work on the script or to find out why I wasn't getting the meeting. And quite honestly, for the second VA that I had, who failed miserably, that was the reason. I found out exactly what she was doing, and she couldn't correct herself. She couldn't handle any objections. So I found that out from the recordings, and that's why I got rid of her.
And I will say that on sales calls specifically, just general rule of thumb from someone who's done collections in the past and worked as a loan officer as well, having that at the beginning of sales calls can be counterproductive. You know, they get that this call is being recorded. You're going to immediately think, all right, this is a collections agent, or someone is trying to get me to buy gift cards. I don't want to speak to them. They're going to hang up. So it's really it's a function that you're going to want to use sparingly, or just in certain situations, but it definitely maybe not best for sales situations. Good for follow-up, fantastic for follow-up. And if you have action items they need to follow up on for the loan processing, they can, without it reduce the amount of follow-up they have to give to you, they can just go back and listen to that recording if they'd like to, and that they have an access to view that on their device and set the exact time they want to listen to it at. So it's got great functions to it, but definitely probably not best for sales situations, especially cold calls.
Yeah, mine was done by mistake because this whole system is new to me. So I'm going to immediately remove that off because I don't need anything recorded. I just want the voicemails going out. That's all I'm concerned about.
Awesome. You got it, Robert. Great question. And as a general rule, that is not on by default on the accounts when you get them. So if you're looking at the loan officer CRM, that won't be on by default. You have to go in and turn that on. Victoria, how you doing? It was great to see you on Breakfast Club this morning.
Thank you.
Doing?
I'm good. I'm just starting to look into this, and I keep coming up with predictive dialer. What's the difference between predictive dialer and power dialer, and what's the benefits of one over the other?
Oh man, great question.
Holy cow.
We get some laser questions
Man,
on this call.
I'm glad this is your call.
So Victoria, a predictive dialer, I have lovingly coined a shenanigans dialer. And what that means is it will dial, in some cases, up to 5 different numbers at the same time. And then when one person picks up, it hangs up on the other 4. So it also looks at who's most likely to pick up the phone, but basically it's dialing multiple numbers all at once. And then once it connects with somebody, it hangs up on the other ones. So it's making
like one of those things. Have you ever had a incoming phone call and you say hello and there's like about a 2-second delay before they come on? They're using a predictive dialer when they do that. And by the way, to my knowledge, Chris, they're illegal.
So I did not know that.
It's going to be based on the area you're in, definitely the states or the country that you're operating from. So if you're planning on using predictive dialers, 100% check the local law on using predictive dialers.
Don't use them. They're uncool.
Just don't use them. Yeah.
Because if I saw the last thing you'd want is my phone number showing up on 5 realtors' phones, and then they go to pick up and there's nobody there, and only 1 out of 5 gets that call. It's uncool. What they're doing is they're calling thousands of people a day, and instead of waiting for one to hit a voicemail and then dial the next one, it eliminates that voicemail issue by calling 5 at a time. But you don't want to do it. They're uncool. Totally.
Okay. Well, good
and
to
know. The Telephone Consumer Protection Act prevents us from doing it the way that we are regulated. Realtors still aren't regulated the way we are, and they can use a triple line dialer or a 5-line dialer, but we are prohibited from doing that.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. But I would also like to make the point that we're not selling pencils. If you call a qualified agent, which you get 300 qualified agents a month as part of the loan officer CRM. So when you're on the program for a year, if you're loading 300 a month, that's 3,600 qualified agents. Well, a qualified agent relationship should generate you about 4 deals a year, right? Carl, that's about right?
That's on the low average, but at least 4 is very safe.
Awesome. Okay. Then we want to be safe in estimates. So you get a yes from a qualified agent, you open up that relationship with them. If your average commission is $3,000, that's $12,000 a year from that one relationship off that one phone call. We don't need to be calling thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
We want a dedicated call to a dedicated person. We know who's on the other line. We've got their redder data up when we're making that call so that when we do get a hold of them, we're able to use Steve's scripts effectively and win that relationship. Because really, it takes a small amount of these agent relationships to really make a big impact.
That's a great point, Chris. Okay. We don't need 1,000 yeses. Dude, 10 for the year would be an out of the park home run.
Yeah. So it's, I know everybody likes to think big, and that's awesome because we're big thinkers here. And that's why this group is so special. But we don't really need to go that crazy with it. Hold on here. There we go. All right, we're back. So great conversations and great questions. So Julie, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Chris?
Fantastic. Great to have you here.
I have a question really quick. So my week's been kind of crazy, but I believe on Wednesday you talked about Facebook and how to advertise to your past clients and to the realtors. And then I thought we were going to learn how to connect that to the CRM.
Yes.
Did I miss that?
So we did post a video about it.
Oh, okay.
It's so ridiculously easy inside the CRM. If I may have permission from all of the others here, give me a little, it'll take us maybe a minute.
I want to know the same thing. I was trying to get the same thing. We were all late. We were late on your call because of the State of the Union.
And wasn't that worth it?
Yes, it was. But
yeah. What a phenomenal call that was. Carl, you and Owen just like knocked it out of the park on that thing. That was amazing.
Well, and I appreciate the kind words. By the way, if you go listen to the recording, it's not actually recording of the call. We went back after the call and cleaned it up a little bit, shortened up, and places we thought deserved more emphasis, gave more things where I went off on a bunny trail. We eliminated, and so if you go listen to the recording, I think it'll or what's posted as the recording. It's actually a second version of it that I thought was better, and we were, and not as much how's the weather. Cause part when you're talking like when there's 1,000 people on, there's a little bit of banter you have to do while people sign on, so we eliminate that. Hey, let's do this. Why don't you go ahead and demonstrate that real thing, and we'll come back to the questions. And once you go ahead and demonstrate a thing here, and then we'll come back to the questions if that's okay.
All right,
I'd
cool.
I'd like to see it too.
So, Julie, you're going to log into your account here, and then you're going to head to your automations. And then we've got all these workflows. So the ads that you're going to be running on Facebook are going to be specific to either your past customer database or your qualified agents. So you've got a workflow running to either your database or your qualified agent. So you've got your 12-month database activator, or you've got your 12-month qualified agent, right? So I'll show you. So we go into our workflows. We just search the 12. And here's our Realtor Referral Partner AI explosion. So this is where we get the list of the 300 qualified agents from Redder. They're automatically imported into this campaign. So I'm going to click on this workflow. And you can see the qualified agents are automatically getting dropped into this workflow. So the trigger moves them in. And then see these little plus signs that are in between each of the different steps in the workflow? These are all opportunities for us to add new things to the workflows. And you add them once, and then they sit there and they run every time somebody goes through one of these workflows. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the trigger that goes off. The qualified agent is going to go in here. It's going to be assigned to you. And then we're going to click this little plus button that's below where it says assign to user. The menu of all the different automations that you can run on these people shows up. And we're going to type in Facebook. And so we're going to go Facebook, add to custom audience. So now you got to see the instructions on how we actually go into Facebook and create the audience inside Facebook, right? Okay. So you've connected your Facebook account to the CRM, and you've got the audience inside Facebook. So the CRM is going to ask you for your account ID. And I'm just going to type in Chris Johnstone. And then it's going to say customer audience ID. And see this one here, it says leads and customers, full database. So that would be the custom audience that I've already created on Facebook. So this information is actually being pulled from your Facebook account into the CRM. So you would have one for your database and one for your qualified agents. So in this campaign, I would choose the one that I created for qualified agents and then click on Save Action. So now, anytime I take my 300 qualified agents a month and I click the button inside Redder that says add to the loan officer CRM, they're automatically going to go into this workflow, and the CRM is automatically going to upload them to the audience on Facebook. So they're automatically going to start seeing your ads on Facebook, as well as getting the emails and getting the text messages. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Chris.
How cool is that, right? Sorry, Brad. Yes.
No, that was me, Robert.
Oh, sorry, Robert.
What do you recommend on an ad spend? $3 to $5 a day?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, because these are small audiences, and you just want always marketing. It's always on marketing, $3 to $5 a day, and you're increasing that audience size on your qualified agents by 300 a month.
Now,
And I know there was I'm sorry, Robert, go ahead.
I was going to just ask, each month you get your new 300, that's going to happen automatically, when they're in your CRM. So this whole process, automation is going to happen each month.
Yeah, once you build the automation once, it just keeps adding people into that automation.
All right, very good. Thanks.
And did you
So-
say, Chris, that with that spend, it doesn't matter how many agents you have in there?
Correct.
So it'll still hit all of the ones that you've put into that qualified list
That's right. And
with the same ad spend.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
And Facebook takes care of that. The AI inside that algorithm shows it to different people at different times on different networks. They do a phenomenal job.
Okay.
You've got to get to a really big audience size before you've got to increase that budget. And, we do a lot of trainings inside the regular daily calls where we've got 3 hours of support. And one of those, you can actually show up, and Cole from our team, he's our media buyer, he's on those calls and he'll actually run your ads for you and teach you about the ad platforms and stuff like that. That call is great for that. But what he'll teach you about is there's this metric in there called frequency. And frequency, it's in the stats of all these crazy stats that Facebook shows you. Frequency is the average number of times over 30 days that somebody sees your ad. So normally you want that number like less than 9. If it's more than 9, you're showing the ads too much. If it's less than 9, you're good to go. And with a $5 a day budget, you almost never go over the 9. So
But you suggested to have 5 different ads. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. So when they see an impression,
Yes.
like today, they're going to see the one that's a past customer testimonial.
Yes.
They log into Facebook tomorrow to check out what their friends are doing, and they see a story of success. Then they log in on Saturday morning and they see an article from you on first-time homebuyers.
Okay.
So it's the same ad campaign. It's the same $5 a day, but you're adding in all the different creatives so that they see different content from you over time. It's not just the same ad over and over and over again.
And the idea behind this is to turn a cold call into a warm call.
Like
I think that could be the strongest thing that could be the strongest thing that this CRM does.
Brad,
I think it's huge.
I couldn't agree with you more. We don't come out of the hoop or come out of the hole talking about that, because a lot of people don't understand that. But Chris and I had this running joke: Oprah can't make cold calls.
You said that the other day, and it made such an impact.
Yeah,
That's
a game
the
changer.
Strongest. So I got to get this. I got to get this part done. I've got to get that done.
Hey, Chris, what do you like on the frequency? So when I'm running my ads, how many times do I want them to see that ad? Do you have a general number?
So no more than 7.
Okay.
And reason being, you don't want it to seem freaky or annoying.
No, I get it. So they can see 10 different ads 5 times each. Totally cool. For 50 times, totally cool. Just not the same ad more than 7.
Exactly.
What do they call it? Ad fatigue or something like that?
That's right. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
I see the same.
How would you control that?
Just put a new ad up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like you'll see, like Budweiser won't put the same ad, for a year. Like they put another one on, put another one
Right.
on.
No, that makes sense, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Chris, do you recommend the videos? Do you recommend putting video up for an advertisement?
Yes.
Yes. Not
Really?
instead of, also.
In addition to, okay.
Yeah, the trick, the best word you can ever use in advertising is also. In addition to.
Okay.
Do I text them? Yes. Do I call them? Yes. Do I go visit them? Yes. Do I Facebook them? Yes. Do I Instagram them? Yes. Do I message them in Facebook? Yes.
Okay.
It's just we call it octopus marketing. It's very powerful. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. All right. And I see Todd and Evelyn and Mike. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to show the power dialer automation, and then we'll cue back into Q&A. So just leave your hands raised. I've got you. And as we're going through, if you have any, just fire it up. But I want to show everybody the power dialer. And I have seen a couple of questions come through the chat on like, hey, can I get more information on Loan Officer CRM and all that? So it's loanofficercrm.ai. And the way here on this call, because this is a lot more informal, like this is us, we're family here, right? I think probably 50% of us are already members of the thing. So what we do is there's a 30-day money back guarantee. So you can go, and it's $297 a month right now. There's no setup fee. So you can go in, buy it.
And that includes the Redder information.
That's right.
Like
Where
you don't
if
have to
go-
you don't have to go buy Redder. It's included in the system.
Yeah, and Redder, if you go buy that retail, it's $199 a month just for the agent data
Without the power dialer.
or any of the pre-done campaigns.
Yeah.
So we made it a no-brainer, but it's also, you can get in there, buy it. You've got 30 days to try it out. If for whatever reason you don't like it or whatever in 30 days, we'll give you 100% of your money back. So you're risk-free for 30 days to try it out. Sean, if you could just post the link to the page where people can get access to that, it's loanofficercrm.ai, and we'd love to see you on the inside. So to help take care of some of those questions. Now, let's get.
By the way, did you hey, stop sharing your screen just for a second?
Yeah.
See the smartest guy in the room? See Dave Fox?
Where is he?
So Dave Fox, he might have stepped off the screen here in a minute. See his little screensaver there? There he is. Hey, Dave, speak up a second so you come to front page.
Hey guys, Chris. Hey, you probably know I'm a huge fan of yours.
See how this
Brother, I
works
love
is
you.
if Dave can ask anything and ask for any favor, and of course it's going to be, dude, of course you can. Yes, absolutely. I'll do that for you. Yes.
Yes.
So that's very, I saw that and I went, that is one smart son of a gun right there. How could Chris say no to anything you ask, you know? So that's outrageous. I looked at that first, I went, is Dave working? Is Dave working with Chris now? So I love it, man. Thanks for the chuckle. That's really good, Dave.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Welcome to the front of the line.
Yeah.
Welcome to the front of the line. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing, Dave. Thanks so
right.
much, man. That made my Friday. That's hilarious.
You are welcome.
Yeah.
Super cool. And I'm gonna have Jennifer reach out. We'd love to get you on the podcast.
By the way, Chris, I just went and got my hair cut and I found out what the name of your hairstyle is. Do you know what it is?
No.
Faux hawk.
It's a faux hawk.
Oh, hawk. What? Where does that come? What's faux? Where does that? What?
It's like a mohawk, but the sides aren't shaped.
Fake
So
mohawk.
So it's got some length on
fake
the side.
mohawk.
I actually showed your picture to my stylist to find out what that was called.
Yeah, faux hawk. I like that.
Did she tell you you need some new friends?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're hanging out with that guy?
Yeah, all the 10-year-olds are doing it.
Awesome. That's
all right.
hilarious.
Let's see it. Let's see what you got.
All right. So here we go. So inside any workflow that you've got, you have the opportunity to add the power dialer. So for the interest of time, actually, just because of the power of how this works, I want to walk everybody through it because we've got a bunch of new members here that won't have gone through this the first time. So inside your loan officer CRM account, we have this menu bar down the left-hand side that says qualified partner lists. So you click on qualified partner lists. This is our partnership with Redder, which is where we get the real estate agent data. So I come in here, I click on find agents, buy sales area. My last search that I did was in Wichita. So in Wichita, in the last 12 months, I only want real estate agents that have done a minimum of 8 buy-side transactions in the last 12 months. That's what we consider to be a qualified agent. So anybody that's done 8 or more buy-side transactions. So I click this update button and the list comes up down here. So in Wichita, 91 qualified agents. I love when we say, you know, you are the prize. You truly are the prize, and there's far more of them than there are of you. Here in Wichita, there's 91 networking opportunities, and every single one of them is conservatively 4 deals a year when you win that relationship. So incredible opportunity here, but you can export 300 of these a month. So you can go market by market and just bring these people into your account. I won't show you all the data and everything that you get on them, but here you just select this checkmark box, and that has selected all of the agents in here. You can see it's added all 91 of them. So for example's sake, let's say we've got 91 of them, and then I can create a list. and put them in the list based on where I've built the list from. So I can keep them organized. Like you can see this one here is Florida, this one's Greenville, this one is Pinea County. So we're just going to take them and we're going to add them to this list here, which we've called Carl's list. And so we click add to list. They were successfully added. So I've got my 91 qualified agents in there. And then I click on view list. Then I select the agents that are in that list. I click export and it says push to the loan officer CRM. I've clicked that button. Voila. Those qualified agents are now contacts inside the CRM. So all their contact data that's included in Redder is now inside the CRM. So I've got their name. In most cases, I've got a phone number for them. In roughly half of the cases on the data, it's a cell phone number that we can start making our power dial calls to, and we can start following the daily success plan and start calling. And then the automation of the emails that go out once a week is automatically going to start going out to those agents. So once a week, they're going to get an email from us, and that machine just runs in the background. And it's all running right now. The automation is already set up. So we can get that qualified agent data at any time. With a couple clicks of the button, it's then imported into the CRM. So inside this automation, we have this automation. Now, when you come in as a client, this is built for you. So we build this for everybody that buys the CRM. You don't have to mess around with it. But inside your workflow list, inside your account, there's this workflow called agent data. Yours might say agent data -V1. So agent data V1. But that agent data workflow is how we get the data from Redder and we move it into your account. So check this out. I've clicked the button. So the contacts from Redder have come into my CRM and it's created the contact. Now look at all the data that we pull in. First name, last name, email, phone number, the buyer count, buyer volume, their business name, all the information that's included in Redder is moved onto the contact record of that agent inside your CRM. So you can click their name inside the CRM, or if they call you back or you're in a conversation with them, all that data is right there on the screen while you're having the conversation with them. So you know who they are and you've got a rough idea of their volume and where they work and all the information on them. So all of that information is put into the CRM and it creates a contact. Then it creates or adds them to your opportunity pipeline. We've been through opportunity pipelines a bunch on this call, but very quickly, it is you being able to track where people are in the pipeline. So you imported them as a lead, they responded back, you booked an appointment with them, they showed up to the appointment, you added them to the Focus 40, you made your Focus 40 calls, you got your first referral, and then you've converted them into a referral partner, and then they go into your referral partner campaign. But an opportunity pipeline allows you to track all the way through. Does that make sense? Sometimes the visuals help a lot. So I'm going to show everybody just a quick visual of what an opportunity pipeline looks like. And you can customize these. So you come to your main menu, you click on opportunities over here. You can see here, I've got this menu. So you can track all of your opportunities by lead source. So this would be Redder. So I've got coffee appointments, realtors, right? And this is a demo account, but yours would show up here when you import them. They would come into this qualified agents. And then first call, second call, third call, appointment booked. And you can track those contacts all the way through these pipelines. Let me show you one that actually has contacts in it. Here we go. So you can see a contact comes in here. It's got their name, all their contact information. And then if you move them to the next stage in your journey with them, you can just click on them, drag them, and drop them in whatever stage they're in. And it automatically updates your CRM. And you can fire off automations based on where they are in this opportunity pipeline. The one that I love most is when somebody books an appointment. As soon as somebody goes into the appointment booked, we've got a workflow pre-built for you inside the CRM that fires off messages to you and to the person who booked the appointment that automatically says, hey, we have an appointment booked at date, time, looking forward to seeing you there. And then an hour before that appointment is scheduled to happen, it sends you both reminders again. Hey, don't forget, we have a meeting in an hour, and it automatically goes off just by that person going into the appointment booked section of the pipeline. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. All right. So it's automatically taken those qualified agents and moved them into that pipeline so that you can see all of them, but you can also track as you move each of them through the pipeline. So I'm going to go back into this workflow. The leads have come in from Redder. We created a contact. It automatically added them to the opportunity pipeline. And again, all this is set up for you by your account manager. You don't actually have to physically set any of this stuff. It's all there. We add a tag to them. So we know they're an agent that we're going to be making our Thor's Hammers calls. And then look at this magic right here. Manual call. So what this is doing is it's taking every qualified agent that we import from Redder, and after it creates them as a contact, adds them to the pipeline, and adds a tag, it's automatically adding them to the Power Dialer. So in any workflow, in any contact that you want, it could be past customers, it can be leads, it can be your pre-approvals, it can be anything that lines up with the daily success plan. You can have a workflow. And you say, hey, anytime anybody comes into this workflow, I want to add them to the Power Dialer. Now, we all know Dave's on the call, and Dave is an advanced user. And so I'm going to give an extra little bit of value just for Dave here on the call, because Dave's also very diligent about making his weekly calls. So we want to call all of the agents that we've imported into the system once a week. So check this out. They've been added to the Power Dialer. I'm going to make my calls, but then in a week, I want to call them again. So I'm going to click on this little plus sign. I'm going to say, wait. I'm going to add a little wait step here, and I'm going to wait 7 days. I'm going to save that action. Then I'm going to select the plus again, and I'm going to put call, and I'm going to select manual action to call, and I'm going to save that action. So it's going to add them to the Power Dialer again in 7 days. Then I can put another 7-day wait and another manual call. And I can do that for however many weeks I want. And that contact will automatically show up in my Power Dialer list every week because they're in this workflow. Now, if I book an appointment with them, it's going to take them out of this workflow and move them to the next one. So it won't add them to the Power Dialer anymore inside this workflow. Is everybody with me? Does everybody see how powerful that is? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So that's how you add people to the Power Dialer. You put them in a workflow, it manually puts them in the Power Dialer. Now, how do you actually make the phone calls, right? So inside the CRM, there is the Conversations tab. So Conversations tab up here in the left-hand corner. And this tracks all of your conversations. So there's this menu bar, unread, recent, starred, and all. So you can sort all the conversations happening inside the CRM by going through the conversations. Our concierge team, our appointment setters are doing a great job of following up on all the leads here. So we don't have any in the unread section, which is why it looks empty. But if I go to all conversations, you can see all of the different conversations that are happening. So these are all conversations that are happening in real time, right? 1238, 1234, 1232, 1229. These are leads being worked in the system. So these are your conversations. And again, if you click on a conversation, you can see who the contact is, all the tags, all the information, and all of the communication that you've had with that person. So if the phone rings, and that person comes up on your CRM and you click their name, you've got all the information up on one screen that you need in order to have that conversation. Now, to make our power dialer calls, we click on manual actions up here at the top. We're working on changing that to say power dialer, but for right now, it says manual actions. So anybody that you add to the workflow that has the power dialer step in it, they're automatically going to show up in this menu. Now, you can sort them by campaign. So let's say you've got your past customers in a workflow, and that workflow is, hey, I'm following up on my past customers for a year, and once a month or once a quarter, you're adding them to the power dialer. Well, you can go in and say, hey, if they're in my campaign of the database activator, who are the calls that I need to make in my database, right? Oh, hey, I don't have any calls to make. Everybody's been followed up on in this workflow. Awesome. Great. Let me go check my agents. Oh, all my agent calls are done. So by actual campaign or workflow that you have them in, you can go through and make your power dial calls. Now, normally the way that I do it is we're just making all of the calls to all of the people, right? But you can choose which ones you actually want to make your calls to. Everybody with me? That makes sense? Dave, Brad, Robert, all good? Okay, perfect. So I'm going to take a look at everybody. And then it's as simple as clicking on let's start. And so this first contact here with Fletcher is at the very top of my power dialer. I'm going to click on the let's start button. Pulls up the contact record automatically. And you can see up in the top right-hand corner, we're calling Fletcher. Now, I don't actually want to connect that call, so I'm going to hang up. But at this point, I can choose no answer, busy, voicemail, or completed. And this is an important step here, okay? So no answer, busy, voicemail, and completed. So completed means I had a phone conversation and I'm manually going to move them to another workflow or someplace else in the CRM based on the conversation that I've had with them. If I choose no answer, busy, or voicemail, that means I wasn't able to make a connection with that person. So I'm going to want to drop the ringless voicemail and have them go to the next step in the funnel. Everybody with me? So there's basically a completed option, and then there's 3 other options that I can choose: no answer, busy, or voicemail. So I'm going to say no answer. You can see the power dialer. It's waiting. It's waiting so that I can go in, and if there's any notes that I need to add on this contact based on the conversation or whatever, I've got the time to do that. If I'm ready for the next
But you
call,
got to be careful of that one, Chris, because where if you're going to do anything, you should hit the pause button first, because you
Yes.
could be in the middle of doing something and it'll call the next person and you lose that one that you were going to do something with.
That's right. So there is a handy dandy pause up there in the corner. But if you didn't connect and you just want to move to the next one, you just click on next lead and it makes the next phone call. Power dialer pops up. Now we're calling Donette.
And
So again,
whatever you hit there, Chris, voicemail, no answer, or busy, it'll show at the bottom of that box, voicemail went out.
That's right.
Yeah, right. Like
That's
you
right.
can't see it now, but in your, not, the box within your, the contact there, it's going to show right there, outbound voicemail.
That's right.
You
And
know
what
it.
what I didn't know was that if you hit any one of the three, it sends your voicemail. I thought you had to hit voicemail to send the voicemail.
And so what we're going to do here is show you how that automation is set up. So I'm going to go back into automations. And so importing that agent data was the first one that we just built there. So that was, we took a Redder contact, added them as a contact, added them to a workflow, that whole thing. We're going to build another campaign here. And if you go in and you search for voicemail, there is AI voice inbound calls. So up here under trigger, we're going to type in call. It's going to give you this option of call status. Okay. So up in the trigger, it's call status. And then we're going to add a filter to this. And if you're here for the first time, up here, these triggers, the way that the CRM works is it's an if-then engine. So if this happens at the top, then do all of this stuff underneath. So up here at the very top where it says add new trigger, you're telling the CRM, if this happens, then everything that I have underneath here, I want you to trigger off automatically. So when we click on add new trigger, call status, we want to select call status is either busy, canceled, no answer, or voicemail. We can select all four of those, or you can select just one. This is how you program the buttons that we had in the power dialer to do specific things. So let's say I want to leave a ringless voicemail if I click the voicemail button. Okay. So I'm going to select if the call status is voicemail. And then we come off here. Then it's in the workflow of, we'll just select this one, but the call status has to be voicemail in the workflow of the specific workflow. And that should be everything. All right. Hold on. I got too many Zoom menus up in the background and I cannot see the save button. Justin, do you have any idea why I'm not seeing a save button on here?
Hi, Chris. Can you zoom it out? So if you're on
Scroll
Mac,
down.
command plus minus sign. Yeah.
Try refreshing
Yeah.
the
Try
page as
refreshing
well.
the page.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it glitches.
Something didn't load appropriately.
Going too fast here on Build It with Chris. I apologize.
It's that Canadian internet. That's what that is. That's yeah.
I'm gonna
They're
call
basically on
you.
dial-up out there, you know.
All right.
You have
Always
to go
good
throw
to
some
see
more
you.
coal on the fire to get the steam boiler working to generate more electricity.
It's
Get the boost-
actually
the boost on the
gerbils on a
treadmill.
big wheel. They've got a big wheel. It's down in Niagara Falls. There's like 1,000 gerbils on a big wheel. It's how we do it. But in the wintertime, we replace them with bears.
Yeah.
You guys got a boost thing going on there too. You can put them on a treadmill, just get them going. All the energy in the world.
All right. So our call status, we're going to go to the call status is voicemail. And we want them to be in the workflow of the past customer or daily success plan. Again, If you're doing past customers, it's past customers. If you're doing qualified agents, it's qualified agents. This is how you're going to choose which voicemail gets dropped. So you're dropping a specific voicemail to realtors, a specific voicemail to past customers. It's based on the workflow that they're in. It will drop the right voicemail inside the workflow. So you click on Save Trigger. So now we know anybody that we're making a power dial call to that's inside this workflow, we can, if you select that voicemail button, all of these actions down here are going to happen. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to drop a ringless voicemail. So I'm going to click on voicemail. Now it's going to ask me to upload a file. A super simple way to record a voicemail is you search for online voice recorder. And you'll see this one up at the top, online-voice-recorder.com. This is what the website looks like. We're just going to wait for a second. This might not work because I've got the Zoom going and it's taking my audio, but we'll see. Hey, it's Chris Johnstone calling. I just wanted to call and say thank you for doing your mortgage with us previously. I was just wanted to give my appreciation to you. And this is how you leave your voicemail. So you're going to record this with Steve Cow's script, hit the stop button, and then leave this little section. You'll notice I paused for a couple seconds at the very beginning. You want that 1 to 2 second delay at the beginning because it has to connect the phone call and then leave that ringless voicemail. So you leave 1 to 2 seconds at the beginning, and then you can chop off the end if you want, and then you click save. So that's now saved. And then I head back to the CRM, click on upload file. And we've got our online voice recorder. Click open. Hey, it's Chris Johnstone calling. I just wanted to call and say thank you. So there's our voicemail. We click save action. So now when I'm running the power dialer and they don't pick up and I hit the voicemail button, it's going to drop that voicemail on that contact. So you build one of these for your past customers, you build one of these for your qualified agents, and then as you're making your power dial calls, you can automatically drop the ringless voicemail based on clicking that voicemail button. And then you can add text messages. You can add emails. Again, be compliant with everything that you're doing, but you can trigger off any automation underneath here. If you want somebody that you've made a call to that you didn't get a hold of to see a specific Facebook ad, you can add them to your custom Facebook audience. All of these automations inside these workflows, really, really cool stuff and a really way to build that. So that is Build It with Chris and building out your power dialer campaigns. We've got to be very cognizant of time. We'll probably go 5 minutes over here, but we'll rapid fire on these questions. And we're going to start with my homie, Todd Claus. How you doing, brother?
Hey, first of all, let me say that your support team knocks it out of the park every day. If there's an issue, they do such a good job. Ben Schaefer's amazing. Justin's killing it. I don't deal with many other people. Those two are absolute rock stars. I think we've dealt with another lady, but you're doing so great with them. So I have to give them a shout out right off the bat. Okay.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Secondly, Ben's been deeply involved in in what we have going on with my team, and I'm a handful, and so I am in 15 different states, licensed to do business in 15 different states, and I have I think I have 21 total phone numbers in the system. And so with the power dialers that we do, the reason I have so many phone numbers is that I want to dial a local phone number to the person that we're calling. And there's 2,500 people that I have in the system. So I want to find the most efficient way to have my virtual assistant callers calling these people, but calling them only from the right phone number at the right time. And so, and I want them to call if they do Thor's Hammer Monday through Friday. So if they call somebody on a Tuesday, I want their same call to happen next Tuesday. So it's a really, really dialed in experience. But what I'd like to know is how we can get the automation going to the maximum possible so that we don't have to manually switch default phone numbers for each call that we're making. Because in my mind, then the power dialer is not really able to do what I'm doing or
All right.
wanting to do anyway. So
Okay.
good luck with that.
I got you. Well, first off, what a question.
Sorry,
You get a
sorry, man.
record
That
scratch.
actually frightened me. That was great. I love it.
All right. So what you want to do is you want to create individual pipelines for each of the locations that you've got. So you want to go into the opportunity pipelines.
Okay.
And then underneath opportunities, you click on pipelines and you can customize these. So you can see, again, this is a test account. So we got a bunch of stuff in here, but I'll show you from scratch. So let's call this pipeline name. And let's say, Todd, what's one of the locations that you work in?
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Still got that from grade 6.
My man.
All right.
Proud of
So
you.
stage name, lead. Stage name, conversation. Appointment booked. And then we want to track people that showed. Then no show. And these are qualified agents you're calling?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then, so we want a coffee appointment. We'll call that.
Yep.
And then follow-up appointment. Then we're going to put him in Focus 40.
Or post coffee, then Focus 40, but yep.
Okay, so we'll do this. So post coffee, Focus 40, referral, and then business development relationship we'll just put here at the end, which is like the end of we've converted them, they're getting referrals, and then you're calling them every week because they're a referral partner. So you've basically like won at this point. Okay. So everybody with me, this is brand new pipeline. We just created it, tracking everything from lead to conversation to appointment book. They showed up, they didn't show up. We had the coffee appointment, post coffee, put them in the Focus 40, got a referral from them, and now we got an ongoing relationship. That is the customer journey or the relationship journey that we're going to track this person through. Everybody with me? So we're going to click on save. So now we have a Mississippi pipeline. So now when I go back to opportunities and I select this menu up here, I now have a Mississippi pipeline.
Okay.
Right? Here's lead, conversation, appointment book, showed, no showed. I just made all of these menus by creating the pipeline. Everybody with me?
Yep.
Okay. So now you can run automations and assign leads to people on your team based on the contact being in the opportunity pipeline. I know that this is a little bit heavy, but Todd, you're a quick study.
I'm ready. Let's go.
So I'm going to create a workflow. I'm going to start from scratch. And I'm going to say, underneath triggers, pipeline stage changed. So if I have in pipeline, Mississippi, save trigger, and then I want to assign that to a user of loan officer that's in the market that has the phone number with the local area code.
So if I'm the only loan officer on my team and I've hired VAs to make all these phone calls, so am I assigning them to make these phone calls even though everybody's mine?
Exactly.
Okay.
So every VA gets a user account.
Right.
Each VA has a phone number tied to their user account. Each VA gets assigned to a location.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, I get it, but I'm not going to hire, 21 VAs. So, we're going to need to switch phone numbers at some point. And so that's
well, the same VA gets all the different user accounts.
Yeah.
Right. So the same VA can log in, but when they go to call somebody in that pipeline, it's automatically going to change the phone number that they're using because it's identified in the workflow.
Chris, couldn't you just have a dedicated phone dialer for each state or area or whatever?
Absolutely. And
yeah, that's what
we have a whole
got.
lot of people that do that as
Yeah,
well.
I've got it. I've got mine dedicated to my realtors, one dedicated to my prospects, one dedicated to my past clients, and I've tagged the recipients to fit into each one. And then whenever I pull up either one, it's already got the right contacts in there.
Guys, I'm asking this question to Chris because I want to hear his answer. So sorry to be blunt, but I know we're out of time.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Yeah. So Todd, that's how I would do it. And also keep in mind when you're importing contacts into the system,
yep,
you import the contact to a user in the system. So what you want to do is create, let's say you've got 10 different phone numbers that you want to use.
Sure.
Create 10 different users in the system. Let's say 5, right? You have
Okay.
5 users in the system.
Okay.
Each user has a different phone number in their profile. So you assign the Mississippi contacts to the Mississippi user, and then make that user an admin so they can call on all the different profiles from one login. And then because the contact was assigned to that user, when she clicks the power dialer number, it automatically recognizes which account it needs to be calling out of, and it uses the proper phone number because the contact has been assigned to the user.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is that I need to set up sub accounts for all these different users, and then they will have a default phone number that will call okay, I catch it.
Yeah. Now, technically, we just figured that out because that's what Build It Chris is all about, the nerdy stuff that makes some people fall asleep, although we don't have anybody asleep on the call. Right? But my personal, like, Todd, let's go build a business together and let's be partners answer,
right,
is just go one at a time. Because if you've got a dedicated dialer should be able to make anywhere between 110 to 150 phone calls a day.
Right.
They should speak to between 16 to 20 people, and they should book you an average of between like 5 and 8 appointments a day. Qualified appointments that show up at more than 75 or 80%.
Right.
My man, you can't do 5 appointments a day every single day and not absolutely blow up your referrals and your business. No income claims.
We're making 1,000 dials. I'm looking for 12 appointments a day.
Yeah, there's something wrong there.
1,000 dials a week. If I didn't say that.
Oh, okay, a week. Yeah.
Yeah. 1,000 dials a week, and
110 dials should get you 5 qualified appointments.
Cool. So I need 3 of them.
Yeah, but you doing 5 qualified appointments a day, I don't know a loan officer out there that can do 5 appointments a day for a month and not be like, okay, my next thing is to hire somebody because I've got more volume and I've got more appointments than I know what to do.
I will cross that bridge when it comes, my friend, and that's what I'm looking for.
So you're trying to go super wide, right? Shorten and go super deep.
Okay.
Go deep, focus on the context. It's like Carl says with the Thor's hammer, like it's not until you get to the 6th week of calling the agents consistently that the conversion rates start to tick up, because they're like, you're consistent. You're the type of partner I want to work with. I see you calling me on the same day at the same time. You've got amazing consistency. You're the type of partner I want to work with. So if you're trying to do 1,000 contacts a week, but you're only calling them once and you're never going back the second week.
Oh no, they're coming back into it. So we're only adding extras when somebody has transitioned, has already done the Zoom appointment with me. So now they're post coffee and they get transferred to me, and I'm then making those calls, and they're out of the power dialers for the for the VAs.
Brilliant.
So
So the power dialer for the VA, though, rather than just trying to like swamp them with contacts, give them dedicated lists that they're hitting every week at the same day at the same time.
That's exactly what's happening.
Perfect. Okay. Stacking that will get you the better result. Great job, brother.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. If Ben's still on here, help me translate that into what I need, brother, please.
We got you.
Ben's the man, everybody. In case you don't know, Ben is the man. After Chris, of course. Thanks, Chris.
No problem. And get with Steve on the scripting side of things, because him dialing in the scripts with that system, phenomenal. All right.
I just want to throw out there, the other half of what I'm doing, everybody, is that I'm not taking incoming phone calls at all. I'm sending them to posh.com, and they're in America, and they answer the phone 24/7, 365, English or Spanish. And then I'm having them set appointments too. So it's working. That's all I have to say.
That is amazing. Thank you, Todd. And it's just fantastic to see you crushing it. That's amazing. All right, cool. So we got 2 more questions that we'll rip through quickly, and then we will call it a Friday. All right. So Evelyn.
Yes, I have a question. I love the CRM. I really want to use it if I can. But that issue is I run into compliance issue, but I would love to use it. And I don't know how I go around it.
Well, when it comes to compliance, we never want to go around. We want to be respectful and do everything that is compliant. So if your company has said no, I would just respect that. And, find whatever CRM it is that they're using. I mean, what I would do with that is I would show up Monday morning inside Mortgage Marketing Animals, get on the daily success plan, and start making the calls. I've lost track personally of the amount of transformations that I've seen of people just making the calls. The technology, this extra, this is the cherry on top of the fundamentals. So I would just get into Call Stars, get into the daily success plan, stay focused on that, and just use the CRM that your company is providing for you. Don't worry about the compliance side of things. Just make your calls. You'll be just fine.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Good to see you, Evelyn.
Yeah, great to see you, Evelyn. And Aldi.
At last, how are you?
Sorry for the delay, but I made sure you got taken care of.
No, I was just kidding. I really enjoyed the call today. So I have a question. And I was just working on it with Justin on the chat, so I'm kind of getting a workaround around it. But I'm having trouble with my Redder agents showing on the CRM. I don't know if it could be something wrong with maybe the integration. I looked at it. It doesn't look, like it's wrong, but I don't know. I click push to CRM. I did the list like you did. I only did 1 contacts just to try it out.
Okay.
But they don't show up. I can't find them.
Okay, so there's a webhook that the team builds for you in order to import those. We'll have to double check that for you. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
So Ben's working on that in the background, and he's phenomenal. So he'll have that worked for you shortly. And then we always follow up after just to make sure we got it fixed for you. So he'll reach out to you this afternoon and make sure you're taken care of.
Cool. And I have one last question about same thing, Redder. So we were hoping to buy extra contacts. I know we can do 300 a month.
Mm-hmm.
But we were hoping to get a list of like 5,000 contacts and put them into the system.
Yes.
Could we do that through the platform, or do we have to go outside to Redder and then import them into the CRM?
It's built right inside the system. So you put all of the contacts in there. You go to import. It'll give you an error message that says, hey, this is more contacts than you can import into the system. It'll tell you like, here's how much you have to spend. we don't take a percentage of that or anything. It's just direct cost on whatever the data costs to bring it into the system. But we've set it up so that you can do it directly through the platform and really get as many contacts as you want. We pay for the first 300. Any additional to that, you can totally do that right inside the platform.
Okay,
And,
cool.
and inside Redder, you have the option of buying them at a discount. So they come in, various forms, but 1,000 is 225, 5,000 is $1,000. FYI.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Sweet. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you.
Awesome. Right on. Okay.
Hey, Chris, just one thing. Some people are asking about the scripts that I mentioned on the Breakfast Club. And so let me just show you real quick where you can get that, if that's okay. Is that okay? We got time for that?
Of course.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know what you're going to see when I share my screen here. So bear with me here. What's up? Oh, just a PowerPoint I'm working on. All right. So if you go, so if you're a member, yours might look a little different than mine, but it should be just the coloring, right? All the buttons and everything should look exactly the same. So just sign on to your Mortgage Marketing Animals account. Click on scripting, and then this one right here, just the basic book. That's going to work for you 99.9% of the time. Real good stuff in Steve's, by the way. I'm not discounting that, but for what we're talking about here, doing your data success plan, that's going to work great. When you click on that, we're going to click on that. It automatically downloads. So we're going to go ahead and click on the download. We're going to bring it up. And primarily what you're going to use the dialer for, the power dialer, primarily is going to be Monday and Thursday calls. Like if I've got 10 people I need to call my pre-approved looking, it's quicker just to call those people. And these are people that we're getting ready to make $3,000 on. They're worthy of a personalized call. Hey, Chris, this is Carl. Like on the voicemail. Hey, just wondering how you and Robin's doing. Just calling to see if you guys are going out looking for a house. Realtor Todd was, I was just talking with him a little earlier today. Your name came up. We're really enjoying working with you. So they warrant a one-on-one call because this is like a $3,000 call. But on Monday calls and past database calls, that's golden for the power dialer. So on the Monday call, this is the normal script that we use, which is basically, I think you're awesome. I'd like to treat you to a cup of coffee so you can tell me more about how awesome you are. That's the basic script, and it works great, right? I've used it for years and years. It still works great. This is, kind of what that actually looks like. When you're leaving a voicemail, it's the exact same script. Hey, Realtor Todd, this is Carl White at ABC Mortgage. Hey man, I looked up some numbers the other day. I was in the system, looked up some numbers, saw that you had all the business you're currently doing, brother. You're absolutely knocking it out of the park. I don't have to tell you that. You already know that, man. I'd love to treat you to a cup of coffee to see what are you doing that's getting you such great results. I'm a student of success. I'd love to see what you're doing. I'm just calling to see maybe if Wednesday at 2 o'clock is a good time or is another time's better. Give me a call back, 555-1212. That's it. It's the exact same script. Do not call them up. I'm going to help you build your business. Like that's actually can be an insult to these top producing agents, right? That'd be like me calling Chris. Hey, man. Hey, Chris, I'd like to show you how to do some online stuff. And Chris would never say this, right? But in his mind, he would think, dude, don't you know who I am? Like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? At some level, right? At some level. All right. So that's the realtors and then the past database. We just scroll right down here, and here's some rebuttals and whatnot for when you catch them live. Again, it's all right there. There's a Tuesday update calls, but again, I'd recommend hand dialing those. And so we're going to scroll right down. Wednesday past database. Same script, whether you catch it live or a voicemail. Is the exact same script. Number one, who are you? Hey, this is Carl, ABC Mortgage. I help you with the mortgage in the past. Number two, purpose of the call. Hey, the purpose of this call is to thank you. Part three, hey, Todd, if you have any questions, you can reach me at 555-1212. And then the call to action. So anyway, hey, Todd, I'll talk to you when you call back. But hey, brother, I just want to know if I can count on you anytime any friends, family, coworkers looking to buy, sell, or refinance. It's exact same script. You're just gonna, you're talking to a recording. exact same script. I strongly recommend that when you do these recordings, like it's totally cool to be looking at a script. Don't make it sound like you're reading a script. We call it singing. Hey, Chris, this is, or no, you wouldn't say a name. Hey, this is Carl over here at ABC Mortgage. Hey, the reason I was calling was just a thing. Like, don't do that. Talk to them like you talk to somebody. And sometimes, like I might have, like in my early days, I'd have the lovely Mrs. White sitting there, and I would literally look at her and say the script to her to make it sound like I'm talking to somebody. So I know my script so well that I actually interject little pauses and little stutters. So, hey, this is Carl. I was just calling to say thank you for letting me help you in the past. Like, and just interject little things. The last important thing, when you give your call to action, slow it up. It's called a pattern interrupt. This is real important. Slow it up. So I would say, hey, this is Carl over at ABC Mortgage. Hey, I was just calling to say thank you for letting me help you in the past. Hey, if you ever have any questions or anything, you can just call me right here at the office. It's 555-1212. But anyway, hope everything's okay for you. Hope everything's okay, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, one more thing, just real quick, if you have a moment. I just wanted to know if I could count on you. Anytime you have a friend or a family member, maybe a coworker that's looking to buy, sell, or maybe like if they're refinancing, just want to know if I can count on you. So if you notice, I slowed it up. I lowered my voice, even for the ladies, right? I lowered my voice just a half a pitch. I slowed it up. Because like I say, hey, you ready for this? All right, write this down. Right? That's what we do. We lower our voice, we talk a little bit slower, and it's without telling you this is important. You're hearing this must be like you're leaning in. And that's what you want to do. Anytime you do a call to action, slow it up a little bit lower and give your call to action. So cool. And the old Columbo close. Oh, one more thing.
One more thing.
One more thing. So anyway, that's the script. It's the same script. Don't overthink it. Same script. Don't sing it. Talk to them like you talk to somebody. Really good stuff. So great stuff, Chris. Appreciate you, brother.
Awesome. Right on. Happy Friday, everybody. Don't forget Breakfast Club Monday morning, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Looking forward to seeing y'all there. LoanOfficerBreakfastClub.com. For those of you looking for more information on the CRM, LoanOfficerCRM.ai. Hope everybody has a phenomenal weekend out there. We'll see you back here on Monday. All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, Chris. Phenomenal.
Thanks, Chris. You're the man.